Here we take a look at guest management within Elina PMS. All guest information is stored within Elina, regardless of how many times they've stayed, unless you have chosen to remove or delete the record. Guests have a various amount of information that's saved against them. Let's have a look at a guest. In Elina, you can track main phone number, mobile number, name, middle name, last name, date of birth, type, titles. You can track a main and a secondary email address, whether the person's opted in for marketing or not. You can also track any kind of reference that you might be using against invoicing or just generally. You can issue a credit amount which allows that guest to be able to check out without having paid their bill. Here you can see that it is 0. You can also have a preferred charge or invoice rule, which works within the hierarchy of invoice or charging rules within Elina. You can also save additional information. So on this guest, we've ticked that they are VIP, their business, and they have a preference on rooms. You can always update their guest record by changing the information on screen and clicking Save. Here we can see the Remove option. Let's have a look at what else you can save on the guest. You can save multiple addresses. So here, for example, we've got 2 addresses. You can also save multiple card types. We have a primary or a main or default card type here, which is saved, and a secondary card which can be used. Cards will be validated and they can be used with transacting around the reservation or any charges that are being issued to the guest. You can always view a full summary of all transactions and movements in money around a guest. That's a full audit history of all of their charges and transactions and movements in terms of money or deposits. You can also view what deposits are stored against the guest here. You can save multiple ID documents. Let's have a look at this ID document. It's a passport that's stored here. We also have a saved image for that as well. We can look at the history of reservations of this guest. This is defaulted to from 1st of June. Let's have a look at the entire history. So we can see the guest has stayed a number of times, what the lengths of the stay are, and we can also link through to those reservations to have a look at them. We can see some notes that have been saved against the guest. Here, for example, it says street facing room. I prefer to face the street. There's also some notes about comms. It says they prefer to be contacted by email. You can also see if a history of any certain types of communication sent to them, as well as if they're linked to a company. You can add notes to them. Profiles can also be merged in Elina if you've ended up with duplicate profiles, and you can do a variety of other things as well. You can always view a summary of the profile, which will give you headline information like addresses, credit cards, related notes, and you can also see how many bookings have had, stays, etc. All guests always have a charge statement in Elina where you can see a summary of their charges, and you can also flick to see, for example, any unpaid charges. You can see the guest balance here is 0. We can link back to the guest. And that is guest management in Elina. You can always create a new guest as well. Create profile like this.